The last heartbeat. The autumn rain fell softly against the windows of St. Catherine's Medical Center, casting dancing shadows across the sterile white walls of the private wing. Dr. Sarah Mitchell stood in the doorway of room 412, her clipboard pressed against her chest, watching the man who had refused to let her save his life. Marcus Thornton lay propped against pristine pillows, his once powerful frame diminished by months of neglect. At 52, he should have been in the prime of his life. Instead, he was dying by choice. The heir to a pharmaceutical empire worth $300 million had signed every waiver, declined every treatment, and turned away every specialist who had tried to intervene. Sarah had been his assigned physician for 3 weeks now. 3 weeks of watching him fade, 3 weeks of professional frustration mixed with something deeper she didn't want to name. "Still here, Dr. Mitchell?" Marcus asked without opening his eyes. His voice carried the refined accent of old money and private schools. But beneath it, she heard the weariness that came with giving up. "My shift ended an hour ago," she admitted, stepping into the room. The machines around his bed beeped their steady rhythm, monitoring a life he had decided to abandon. "I wanted to check on you before I left." How touching. His eyes opened then, and even diminished by illness, they held a sharp intelligence that made her breath catch. "Though I suspect you're really here to make another futile attempt at changing my mind." Sarah pulled up the chair beside his bed, the same chair she had occupied during countless one-sided conversations. Tonight, something felt different. Perhaps it was the way the rain created an intimacy in the dim room. Or perhaps it was her own exhaustion breaking down the professional walls she had carefully maintained. "Tell me about her," Sarah said quietly. Marcus's expression shifted, a crack appearing in his carefully constructed indifference. "Who?" "The woman who made you decide life wasn't worth living anymore." For a long moment, the only sound was the rain and the steady beep of the heart monitor. Then Marcus turned his head to look at her fully, and Sarah saw something she hadn't seen before, surprised that she had understood. "Her name was Elizabeth," he began, his voice softer than she'd ever heard it. "We were supposed to get married. I had the ring, the venue, everything planned." He paused, his jaw tightening. "She died in a car accident 2 years ago. A drunk driver ran a red light." Sarah listened as Marcus spoke, his words painting a picture of a love that had consumed him completely. Elizabeth had been an artist, vibrant and alive in ways that had balanced his serious nature. She had made him laugh, made him see beauty in ordinary moments, made him want to be better than the cold businessman his father had raised him to be. "After she died, I threw myself into work," Marcus continued. "Built the company even bigger, made more money than I could ever spend. But every morning I woke up and remembered she was gone. And every morning I had to find a reason to get out of bed." He closed his eyes again. "Then, 6 months ago, my heart started failing. Cardiomyopathy, they said. Treatable, they said. And all I could think was why. Why should I fight to stay in a world where she doesn't exist?" Sarah felt tears burning behind her eyes, but she didn't look away. "So you decided to join her?" "I'm not religious, Dr. Mitchell. I don't believe in an afterlife where we'll be reunited. I just know that I'm tired of missing her. Tired of this endless ache that never goes away." The rain intensified, drumming harder against the window. Sarah stood and walked to the glass, looking out at the city lights blurred by water. She thought about her own losses, her own reasons for becoming a doctor. The younger brother she couldn't save from leukemia when they were teenagers. The way that helplessness had driven her through medical school, through grueling residencies, through every difficult case. "I lost someone too," she said, her reflection ghostly in the dark glass. "My brother, Tommy. He was 14. I was 17. She touched the cool window. "For years, I thought if I saved enough people, it would somehow make up for not being able to save him. That if I was good enough, dedicated enough, it would fill that hole inside me." She turned to face Marcus. "But it doesn't work that way, does it? The people we love, they leave marks on us, shape us. And when they're gone, we're left with these holes that nothing can fill." "Then you understand," Marcus said. "I understand the pain," Sarah replied, moving back to his bedside. "But Marcus, those holes, they're not just emptiness. They're proof that we loved someone deeply enough to be changed by them. Elizabeth changed you. Made you better, you said. Would she want that better version of you to stop existing?" "Don't," Marcus warned, but his voice lacked conviction. Sarah sat on the edge of his bed. A breach of professional protocol she no longer cared about. "I've been your doctor for 3 weeks, and in that time, do you know what I've learned? You still call the company every day to check on your employees. You ask about their families, their kids' soccer games. You donated money to the hospital's children's wing last week anonymously, but I found out. You're still living, Marcus. Even while you're dying, you're still trying to make the world a little better." "That's just habit," he said, but she could see she had reached something in him. "No," Sarah said firmly. "That's who Elizabeth helped you become. And every person whose life you touch, every child who gets treatment in that wing you funded, every employee who can support their family, that's her legacy continuing through you." Marcus's breathing had grown unsteady, and Sarah realized he was crying silently, tears sliding down his temples onto the pillow. "I'm so tired." "Sarah," he whispered, using her first name for the first time. "I don't know if I have the strength to keep going without her." Sarah took his hand, feeling his pulse beneath her fingers, weak, irregular, but still fighting. "Then don't do it for you. Do it for her. Let her love continue to change the world through you. It's not the same as having her here, I know. The ache won't go away. But maybe, just maybe, you can learn to carry it differently." The rain began to soften, and in the gentle quiet that followed, something shifted in the room. Marcus squeezed her hand weakly. "If I do this," he said slowly, "if I agree to the treatment." "When you do this," Sarah corrected gently. "When I do this," he amended, a ghost of a smile touching his lips, "I want you to be my cardiologist. Not just assigned to me." Choosing to see this through, Sarah felt her own tears finally fall. "I wouldn't have it any other way." As she called for the team to prepare Marcus for the procedures he had refused for so long, Sarah looked out at the clearing sky. Somewhere, she thought, maybe Elizabeth and Tommy were watching, proud of the people who loved them for choosing to keep living. Keep loving, keep fighting. The machines beeped steadily on, marking the heartbeat of a man who had finally found a reason to let himself be saved.